Welcome to the very first episode of Worship Rekindled. I'm Sarah Hernandez, and I'm so glad you're here. Worship Rekindled is a podcast for worshipers and worship leaders who are tired of performance and hungry for presence. In this space, we address the tension between the platform and formation. We speak honestly about the challenges of worship ministry, and we lean into spiritual practices that help nourish our souls as we allow God to rekindle the spark within each of us, leading us to hope in the one that has redeemed us. Let's begin with the heart behind this podcast. I'll share more of my personal story and background later, but suffice it to say that I have spent most of my life in some manner of worship ministry. Before I was old enough to serve, I accompanied my mother to many a late-night rehearsal and often fell asleep under the coat racks during the pre-Christmas pageant intensives. Lots of early mornings, too, so that we could make it to her 6:30 a.m. call for Sunday pre-service rehearsal. Many of us in worship ministry spend many hours preparing the Sunday morning music, polishing performance and rehearsals, and executing with as much excellence as we can for as many services as we must on Sunday. This preparation and a desire for excellence to honor the Lord, they're very good things. Yet sometimes this focus on what we produce can leave us empty and exhausted by the demands of performance-driven worship culture, even when that wasn't the intention. With so many demands on us, we can end up hungry for spiritual formation, for authenticity in community, and for depth in relationships, but without the time or energy to invest in any of these things. And when we're exhausted and isolated, we're at risk of losing our way. Worship Rekindled is my way of processing the challenges of worship ministry and providing a space for honesty and connection to those who are in vocational and volunteer ministry. My hope is that Worship Rekindled will help you breathe a little deeper and take stock of what you need in order to continue following the Lord faithfully and leading others genuinely. To the weary worship leader, you are seen in the midst of the struggle. You are not alone. God is with you. Come, rest with us. You're welcome here. To the curious worshiper, bring your energy and curiosity. You are welcome here. And when things get hard, you can lean on us. This is a space for those of us still being formed by grace, wherever we find ourselves in our ministry journey. Let me share a bit about myself so you know who you're interacting with. I was raised in a home with a nominally Catholic father and a Pentecostal mother whose father was a pastor. All of my family on my mom's side is musical. That makes us a multi-generational worship ministry family. I was raised in church, mostly in a charismatic evangelical church that valued the arts and did a really good job of training younger generations to serve as part of the community. I've served in worship ministry since I was 12 years old, having been trained by the worship minister at my home church, and I went on to earn a bachelor's in music, a master's in music and human learning, and most recently, a doctorate of worship studies. This blend gives me a unique lens on worship renewal since I'm a musician, I'm an educator, and I'm a worship practitioner who has served as a volunteer and as church staff over the years. All of that education and experience has been a gift from God, and it's incredibly helpful in shaping my calling as a worship leader. But I want to be clear from the start. I am not here as a person who has all the answers and has it all figured out. I'm still being formed. I'm still learning. And I'm still growing alongside the rest of the church in how to love God and love one another more faithfully every day. During my doctoral studies, I had more opportunities to interact with other traditions and worship preferences and to learn a more robust biblical theology of worship. It ruined me in the very best ways. I studied at an ecumenical seminary, which means it was open to all Christian believers who profess the Nicene Creed, and my exposure to different experiences, preferences, perspectives, and practices, you guessed it, completely ruined me and made me fall even more in love with God and with the Big C Church. While writing my dissertation, I took a sabbatical from my church and rested in a nearby Anglican church, which once again ruined me in the very best ways. While I discern what my next steps are supposed to be in regards to my ministry context, I'm grateful that God's call on my life as a worship leader hasn't changed, even if it looks a bit different right now. My hope is to introduce those of us unfamiliar with more historical practices to the rich history we have in the body of Christ, to create a charitable dialogue between different Christian traditions, and to dive deeper with you into what Eugene Peterson called the long obedience in the same direction. This season, we're beginning with 10 episodes, each focused on a different theme. We'll talk about burnout, liturgy, performance culture, worship theology, spiritual rhythms, and more. We'll introduce some spiritual formation practices and listener reflections. We'll lean into moments of examine, and we'll end with a blessing to center your week. You are invited to join us, whether you're leading every Sunday or sitting in the back row needing renewal. Worship is more than just a moment on Sundays. It's a rhythm that we return to, and it forms us as worshipers. Some of you may be familiar with the practice of offering a benediction at the end of a worship service, while others of you may be asking yourself what the word benediction even means. It's a blessing, and it should hold a charge for us as worshipers to go into our communities as representatives of the God we serve. For some, choosing a physical posture with hands upturned and open to receive feels right. For others, it may just be closing your eyes and listening. Choose the posture that feels right to you for the next few moments and receive this blessing based on 2 Timothy 1:6 and 7. May God rekindle the gifts He has placed in you, which do not lead you to timidity, but to power, to love, and self-discipline as you walk in obedience to Him. And this is your charge. Now go into your homes and communities to serve your God, who meets you in both silence and song. This has been Worship Rekindled with your host, Sarah Hernandez. Please make sure to subscribe to Worship Rekindled on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you like to get your podcasts. Want to connect? Shoot us an email at hello@worshiprekindled.com or find us at www.worshiprekindled.com and sign up to receive occasional emails. We look forward to connecting with you next time here on Worship Rekindled.